Hey, everybody. So I wanted to get on here and talk about this topic of self-love. I guess it's always what I talk about. But this just really came up for me because I've had quite a few people reach out to me and say, oh man, like I'm so interested in doing your retreat, the Naturally Fit retreat that's coming up, but I just can't take that much time away from my kids. Like 5 days, 4 nights, it's a long time away from my kids. Or I've had people say, no, I've already got like this other thing that I'm doing. I just can't do both things. Like, I've got this, this other trip that I've got planned and it's just a little too much for me to do both. Or you know what? It's just, I just don't feel I've got too many things to do. It's just not the right time. So if this is something that you're saying, and whether it be about my retreat or doing anything that would be good for you, I would just encourage you to ask yourself why. Like, why do I feel the need, especially you moms out there, why do you feel the need to be with your kids 24/7, like every single day? Because the funny thing is that, like, if your kids want to go to a week-long summer camp, it's like no big deal, right? It's like, oh, you'll send them off to summer camp because that's what they want, and it's like all of a sudden it's okay for you to not be around your kids. Or you'll spend money on, your dog or your kids or your house or your car. You'll spend money on these things, but you won't spend money on yourself. You'll go to vacations. You'll do like a vacation, like you'll go on vacation or go to a yoga retreat or something like that and think that that's actually, it is kind of self-love. It's self-love, but it's not going to create the change that you want because it doesn't change anything inside you. Hell, probably 90% of the people sitting on a beach aren't really actually happy. Maybe they're happy when they're sitting on the beach, but as soon as they go home and as soon as they're off that beach, they go back to their patterns of worrying and panic around money or, feeling like they're not doing enough. And, so it doesn't actually change anything. So it's like, man, like we have this ability to really create a completely different life for ourselves where we can wake up and know a sense of peace and love for ourselves and feel completely worthy, where we aren't constantly needing to do things or, work our ass off and really railroad ourselves into the ground in order to prove ourselves or to feel good enough at a company or, to have a certain number of clients or, like most of the world is caught up in doing things in order to feel loved, in order to feel seen, in order to prove something either to themselves or to their family or to, a boss or something like that, or to feel safe, so for example, right, like, moms are classic with this. Like they make it they feel the need to constantly like be doing all these things for their kids, and they give all their energy to their kids, and they do it. Yeah, they say for their kids, but they actually do it for themselves, right? Because they get their self-worth, their self-love by doing things for the kids. So it's like, or just doing things for others. Like a lot of people, like people pleasers, like that love to just like do things for others. They say that they're doing it for others, but they're actually doing it for themselves. It's just this way that they feel needed. It's the way that they feel seen. It's the way that they feel loved is by doing these things. And so if you're a mom, it's like, well, who am I if I'm not, taking care of my kids? Because all of their worth and their value is tied up in doing these things for kids. And so it's like, because that all of it is tied up there, there is no like room for having that for yourself. So you find yourself just doing all these things, like taking care of the kids and doing the chores and, taking care of the house and all that stuff. And you're just getting all this energy out, and it completely leaves you in an energy deficit where you have no energy to take care of yourself at the end of the day. Right. And whether like this is even for guys, too, who are, overworking themselves or like, they are trying to need to prove something. So they give themselves away to clients, or they're just working 60 hours a week, to make money. And it's like, why are you doing that? And it's because they don't have all their worth. They don't all their worth is tied up into needing to prove themselves to feel enough, or all their love is tied up in doing things for others. And so by the time that they, at the end of the day comes, they're completely wiped out. There's no energy to take care of yourself. You don't really want to exercise. You probably, you don't want to you don't have time or energy to do any sort of self-care routine, right? Like even just sitting still, it's like that might even be just too much effort for you to do. You just want somebody to, just kind of help, just save you or take care of you. So as a result, it's like we just find ourselves completely drained. And then because we have this energy deficit, people find themselves going to food or going to alcohol or spending money on things. They just buy a bunch of shit, right? Because they feel like shit. So they just buy shit to make them feel good, but it's such a small dose. It's a small temporary fix. It's fleeting, right? And so it's funny because it's like, oh my God, you guys could be living like such a more amazing life and still be, and having like way deeper connections with your family, with your kids, because you are so full from the inside. You're taking care of yourself. You feel great. You're proud of your decisions. You're proud of who you are. And you love yourself. And because you love yourself, you're able to give that love to others. Like you can just really show up as somebody different, and make the impact that you want and fully express yourself and radiate your energy. But no, that can't happen when you're so busy taking care of other people or so busy trying to prove yourself, whether that be, trying to have a certain kind of body, right? Trying to eat less and work out more because, you only feel like you're lovable if you look a certain way, or if you feel like you need a certain amount of clients or a certain amount of money, right? So because all of your attachment is tied up in these things, there's no room for you to listen and feel and give yourself what you actually need when you need it. And so you just feel like shit, like all the time. And so the thing is, it's like, why, be aware of why you're doing things. Why are you working yourself to death? Why do you feel the need to be around your kids? You can't take 5 days off for your kids. Why? Because the mind wants to think like, oh, but my kids need me. No, your kids are fine. Like your kids are fine. And you need your kids. That's the thing. You need your kids because that's how you feel worthy. So just allow yourself, allow yourself to open to that kind of thing. Why do I feel to work 60 hours a week? Why do I feel the need to just constantly just work myself to death? Because I feel like I'm going to be, I'm more deserving of love if I have a certain number of clients. Like it means something about me, or I'm, then I can rest. Like, yeah, then I deserve love and care as soon as I achieve a certain, status or, a certain amount of money, then I can rest. It's like, well, why can't you rest now? Why don't you feel like you're deserving now? Because you can actually create both. You can actually create like the nourishment and the vitality that you want now as you create the thing that you want. But when we feel like we are not enough and we're constantly finding ourselves to proving, that we are, or seeking things or needing things to feel enough, to feel loved, then you will never create the space to actually take care of yourself. So I just wanted to share that because it is so easy to get caught up in doing things. And it all stems because you don't believe that you deserve the rest, the love, the care now. And so it's like, why? What is standing in the way of me loving myself? Why don't I love myself? Why won't I put myself first? Why won't I invest in myself? Why won't I take 5 days off from my kids and go to a retreat where I know I'm going to come back a completely different person and I'm able to show up way, way better for my kids, and create really like meaningful connections. None of this doing love. I'm actually going to be love, right? So I just wanted to share that because this is the kind of the stuff that keeps people from making the transformation and creating the life and the body that they want, because they're so wrapped up in proving themselves and needing to achieve certain things in order to feel enough. And that is the very thing that keeps you from the body and the life that you want. So it's freaking crazy, man. It's a crazy thing. So anyways, if this is like, if you notice yourself like just spinning in patterns, it'd be a really great question to just ask why. Why am I doing this? Why am I, why am I tracking macros? Why am I constantly doing things for others? Why do I not put myself first? Why do I not allow myself to, take care of myself? Why won't I take a few days off from my gym or for my kids? What am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? Why do I kill myself at work? Why do I always feel like I got to be starting new projects, or I got to be overworking or over giving to my clients, over providing? Why do I work so late? Why? And you're gonna find an answer. Like, just obviously, like, be gentle with yourself, and but we gotta start seeing why we do certain things, so that we can get out of it, so that we can start to create a new reality. And I honestly think that there's no better way than to actually physically remove yourself from your life, and go place yourself in an environment that is going to be all about how to love and care for yourself, and how to put yourself as number one, and really dig in and really anchor that into your heart, so you can bring that home and start to show up as a completely different person and create a completely different life from that point on. And at the Naturally Fit Retreat, so that's happening in August in Breckenridge, Colorado, the one that I'm hosting. We are not only going to learn how to put yourself first and how to take care of yourself and how to love yourself, but I'm also going to teach you how to eat mindfully. This is something that I wish I was seeking when I was going through this whole transformation journey. I was so sick and tired of diets. I was so sick and tired of tracking macros. I was so sick and tired of fucking counting steps and like minutes in the gym. I was so to teach me how to create an empowering relationship with food, where I just could feel a sense of empowerment around food. I didn't need to have a certain rules or structures around what I ate and what time I ate it at and how much I ate. I wanted to be so done with that shit, because I knew other people were doing that, and I wanted to learn that. But it definitely, it takes practice. For me, like personally, I have to, there's no better way to practice it than being in the presence of somebody that can teach you how to do that, and really getting the feeling of what it's like when you eat your food, and how to eat it, and how to eat it in a mindful way, So that's why I've incorporated mindful eating as a really big part of the Naturally Fit Retreat. I've also incorporated how to make your workouts fun, as opposed to just getting through them. Like, that should not be, I don't think that should be like the relationship we should have with the gym. That's not enjoyable at all. For me, like I want to create a relationship where it's like, I can't wait to go. And I also, once I'm working out, it's like, I don't even want to stop, because I'm having so much fun, because I'm actually enjoying it. It sounds probably like, yeah, right, Nat, to you right now, if that's, not the way that you experience the gym, but to me, it's very real. And I train that, and I want to teach others how to train that as well, so that you just become naturally fit through these skills of learning how to make your workouts more fun, how to enjoy movement, how to, without needing like structures of I have to work out, like none of that shit, right? Like it's coming from a heart space, as opposed to like a head space of I need to, I have to, I should, and how to eat without macro plans, and none of that shit, right? Like, how to trust yourself to have ice cream and carbs and stuff like that. When do I know when to have that kind of stuff? And then we're also going to be spending a lot of time just taking care of ourselves. I'm going to teach you how to take care of yourself. I'm going to teach you how to be okay with not doing anything. And that takes practice. And that's why it's 5 days long. So yeah, it is 5 days. It's 4 nights, 5 days. It's kind of like 4.5 days, because it's not a full day. But that's what I want. That's the message. That's the transmission that I want to bring to people. I want to teach people how to be naturally fit, honestly, how to just really take care of themselves from a heart space, as opposed to a space of like fear and I hate myself and I don't trust myself around food. So I need macro plans and structures and rules and all that shit. Like that's killing people, and we need to get away from that. So anyways, totally kind of went on a rant there. If that is something that you feel like you're needing, if you resonate with my message, you'd probably be a good fit. So message me and, we can talk and see if it is a good fit. If not, all good, all good. And that's it. So love you guys. May you guys be healthy, happy, and free. And we'll see you guys later.